Good evening. I'm going to call the April 13th, 2023 agenda meeting to order. I am present. Councilmember Brennan is present. Councilmember De La Rada is absent. Councilmember McPartlin is present. Councilmember Jason Moskowitz is present. Town Attorney Elena Finnan is present. We also have Seth Goldstein present. Town Comptroller Elizabeth Greenwood, Assistant to the Town Comptroller Janet Wynn, Chief Koshin, Lori Peretti, Clark Henry, Ray Smith, Matt Yetto. We also have local reporter Ted Remsnyder from the Gazette present, and our resident Leslie Gold, and Jean Fody. So before moving on, we wish to respectfully acknowledge that Niskayuna is on the traditional lands of the Kanikihaka and the Mahikanac peoples, past and present, and we honor with gratitude the land itself and the peoples who have stewarded this land throughout generations. Okay, moving on, we'll start with our Public Works Committee.
Okay, so the first item is a tentative resolution regarding contract renewal for T-Mobile for replacement of their antennas on our water towers. I know Elena has been working with them. I knew she had sent them a contract with some suggested changes, and we're just waiting for the final version from them back. If it's ready and she approves, I think we can move forward with that. 2 is a resolution to approve an easement agreement for 15 Caroline Terrace. It's a proposed drain pipe that will be just on the edge of one of our sanitary sewer easements. It's just a standard agreement that would basically say if we ever had to work on that sewer line, we weren't responsible if there's any damage to that drain pipe. Number 3 is a similar agreement for a fence that would be proposed for placement adjacent to slightly into a drainage easement. It runs along the back of 1306 Rowell Road. Ray Smith, myself, and Dan Bolke, we all went out there and looked at and actually Tom Canizza was there as well. We looked at the site. We don't have any issues with it. It was proposed, so this is a standard agreement. 4 is a tentative agreement or a tentative resolution that called for a public hearing for sewer district extension on Pierce Road. We're waiting to hear back from the residents on what they want to do as far as moving forward. And I just wanted to have that on there in case everything fell into place and we don't lose any more time on this. 5 is a tentative resolution to hire a maintenance worker for the water and sewer department. I've got some interviews scheduled for next week. We put the sign out on Route 7. It seemed to get some interest. So I have a few applications. I'm hoping to get more, but I'm going to interview the people that I have now so that we can hopefully have a candidate prior to the meeting. The number 6 is a resolution to authorize the purchase of pickup trucks. We're working with a dealer at the western part of the state and trying to piggyback on the Onondaga County bid that they had, that Ray recently purchased trucks off of. We have money that was bonded and budgeted for the purchases. If everything falls into place, we'll have the information for the resolution. Number 7 is a resolution to hire a seasonal worker for the water and sewer department. Zoe Harris has worked with us for the last 2 years. She has been our hydrant painter. She's asked to come back again. We're very happy with her, and I'd like to try to get her to come back. It makes a big deal to have the same kids come back because they know what we're doing. They know how to paint the hydrants and how to number them correctly and then have the right colors. So to have her back would be great. 8 is a resolution to authorize a fourth quarter corporate warrant for 2022. We're finalizing the numbers. I don't don't expect any issue with this moving forward. 9 is a tentative resolution to appoint a plant trainee at the sewer plant. We have been working with civil service. We did do one interview, and I was not happy with the results of that interview. So we're waiting for applicants, and hopefully we get some. I'm just going to leave it on there as a tentative because I really want to fill that position. 9 is a resolution to appoint a plant mechanic / truck driver at the wastewater treatment plant. It's a position that we've had on the books for a while, and I'd like to fill it. I'm using the same pool of applicants for the water and sewer maintenance. So when they come in for interviews, if someone has a more mechanical skill set, I'm going to try to guide them towards that position and offer that position to them. 11 is a tentative resolution to authorize repair or the replacement of a blower motor at the wastewater treatment plant. We're still waiting on feedback on whether or not we need to replace it or just repair it. So I don't have specific numbers yet, and I just want to leave it on there in case the numbers come back high enough that requires board action, and maybe low enough that I can just do with my own authority. 12 is a resolution to award a contract for building modifications at the water treatment plant. This is a portion of the water plant upgrade that we pulled out of the large bid that we opened, I think it was last year. We got a very good quote from a local contractor to do the work. It's installation of windows, some concrete block work, some doors, and we can do that for $19,192 or $162, and that we had money budgeted for that. It was in the original project cost, but it's the bonding that we did for that project. And 13, I'm going to pull the resolution to award a contract for sludge dryer control system upgrades. I didn't really like the price that we received, so I'm going to look at other options. And I have two items that were added at finance. It's the training for the wastewater treatment plant operator at SUNY Morrisville. That will take place hopefully if everything's approved in May, rather than waiting until the end of this year to do the training. And then another item from finance was the renewal of the contract with County Waste for hauling and disposal of the recyclables and garbage from our transfer station. Any questions? Nope. All right, thank you.
Good evening. Number 14 is a resolution authorized surplus of certain town-owned equipment. This is some from our 2021 stuff that we bought that came in, getting rid of what it replaced. And also we extended the list into some of the things that are in the process of being replaced that may take some time, as selling this stuff at the opportune time to get more money for is crucial. So this will allow us at the end of this construction season to try to get rid of some stuff, maybe even earlier than the replacement comes in. So number 15, resolution to hire seasonal workers in the town's highway and parks department. We usually get a few each year for each department to help with daily operations. Number 16 is a resolution to accept the paving bids for the town's paving operations for 2023. This, as well as the previous ones, have a 3-year rollover, hoping to get our best buy for our materials. That's an option for us and also for them. So the way the materials have fluctuated, it's a good thing to have this. So And this includes a separate section for mats, paving of repairs and stuff like that. So anything that the town does in paving is covered under this bid. So pretty broad bid. Thank you for Elena for working on us with this. Number 17 is a resolution to approve a purchase of a transmission for one of our yard waste packers. I spoke of this in my meeting. I know there's always controversy over why do we need new things. This is a 2002 yard waste packer, although it's our heavy, when things are heavy, it's a third truck that goes out. This just tells you that, over a certain amount of time, it's more costly. We're putting, over $10,000 in something that's a 2002 with over 130,000 miles in it. So, again, I'm very grateful for everything that I've always gotten from all of you. But, when recommendations, this is part of it, it's not just to have shiny things, it's cost effective. And that's it for me. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to Community Programs Committee.
Okay, number 18 is a resolution to hire employees to work in the town of Office of Community Programs. This is for part one of our summer staff for the driving range, rec soccer referees, and also our pool management staff. And number 19 is a resolution to set the dates and times for the 2023 Farmers Market. Does anybody have any questions? Nope. Okay, thank you.
Actually, yes. How are we doing on lifeguards? I know previous years there was a shortage. How are we doing this
We
year?
are doing amazing.
Very
We've had a great crop of new lifeguards, younger. We still have a lot of the old standbys. There's no shortage at our pool this year. We're doing great.
Great.
Yep. I'm good.
I think you might have something that,
Yeah, we have 2 additional resolutions to be added. A resolution to accept addendums to the license agreements with the sports clubs. We met yesterday to discuss credits and addendums. So we should have that drafted up in time for the meeting. And also a resolution to accept a donation of $400 from CDPHP, which goes towards the senior center's exercise programs. And those are both on the finance agenda.
Okay. You good? Thank you.
all right, moving on to the Economic Development, Historic Preservation, and Environmental Conservation Committee.
Okay. Laura is traveling back from vacation, so she asked me to step in. We have agenda item 20, a resolution to adopt a local law requiring 19 NYCRR Part 1203 of the Uniform Code and Energy Code to set minimum standards for administration and enforcement. This is some New York State required code that all municipalities are required to add to their local codes. We called for a public hearing, held the public hearing, and this resolution is to adopt the code. Item 21 is a tentative resolution to make a seeker determination and to call for a public hearing regarding a special use permit application to combine 17, 25, and 33 Fagan Avenue properties with the existing Kia automobile lot at 3900 State Street and extend the current automobile parking lot in place of 2 existing single-family homes. So this is to call for the public hearing. The town board meeting on 4/25 would be to call for the public hearing. The meeting would be held on 5/23, and then action would tentatively be, I guess, at the 6/27 town board meeting. And item 22 is a resolution to make a seeker determination on certain Niskuna Park improvements for a DASNY grant. And these are for some improvements to 4 of the town's parks at the River Road Park, Fieldstone Park, Lions Park Train Station, and Avon Crest.
Thank you. All right, Police and Public Safety Committee.
Good evening, everyone. Number 23 is a resolution to adopt a local law to create a school bus long-arm program in the town of Niskuna. We spoke in our committee about this. Town Attorney Finn and myself have been meeting with a company called Bus Patrol. It's a company that has contacted over 100, actually has contracted with over 115 school districts to date to be able to develop safety programs for our students and for our school buses. The Cliff Notes version is this: we need a local law allowing us to fine violators based on the local law. If we enact this local law, we can then take the steps forward to work in conjunction with the school district and this company to put free cameras on all of our school buses. Those cameras could then potentially catch what we know exists, which are people that are driving around our school buses making our children unsafe. Once we have established that program, we can then subsequently fine those folks to hopefully have a consequence to get them to stop. Policing in 2023, a lot of it's technology based, and this would give us, at no cost to taxpayers, the ability to outreach for a safety function for our students more than we could have ever asked. There's no budget we could create where we followed every single school bus around with a police officer to do what this technology can potentially do. So I'm fully supportive of it. I've gotten nothing but positive feedback so far from the school district. I know the city of Schenectady, their school district is actually the ones that are spearheading it. It's a little bit backwards for us. When I found out about this, because I read about the South County School District, I didn't wait for our school district. I just said, we're just going to start working through the paces to try to get this done. And the local law is the biggest portion of this to get this done. So hopefully we all support that and we can move forward together as a team to work with the school district to get this done for our students.
So on the school district's end, there's no cost to them, but they would have to open up their garages and their buses for this company to install the video equipment.
That's correct. So I spoke with the superintendent and also some other folks over there. I forget the gentleman's name that's in charge of their school bus garage. He's the director of their transportation services, who is absolutely full in support of it. He actually started having the conversations at about the same time we did. It takes about 3 to 5 hours per bus to be able to install the equipment. They would have to, the school board would have to pass some sort of resolution. I don't know if that's correct terminology on their end in support of this to allow us to do this. But it would be a partnership together that everybody benefits from for the students. So
Absolutely.
So by establishing this local law, does this then allow our court system and our judges to then fine for these violations?
So the way it works is it doesn't follow, because we're establishing local law, it's not going to fall under New York State Vehicle and Traffic Law. It's going to fall under our town code, which gives us the provision then to automatically send out a fine to the owner of the vehicle, not necessarily to the violator, but to the owner of the vehicle. And there's a whole process in place. The company provides us with, with an evidence management software system. They have their own collection agency whereby they're collecting the money on our behalf to try to streamline the process, to really work through the paces, because they don't want to make it, they're in the business of a business, right? They're trying to make it as easy for us, as easy for the school district. And obviously there's a monetary gain on their part as well through this process. So,
Yeah.
but there is a grace period. I tell folks this, there's going to be a big campaign. If we do this and we can get this done, which I do believe we can, there's a big campaign, right? There's an information campaign, there's signage, there's a 30-day grace period where they're going to send violators notices to say, hey, by the way, you just passed a school bus. 30 days from now, it would have cost you X amount of dollars.
Why does there need to be a grace period?
So I think with anything, folks,
This has been in vehicle and traffic for a long time, right? Everybody that drives a car should know that they can't pass the school bus.
couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. However, I think it's a model that's worked to try to get the community adjusted accordingly to what's going on, to really get that information out there so everybody starts taking it upon themselves to pay attention to what they're doing as they're driving. So, but I agree with you, Bill.
Yes, thank you so much, Chief. From the moment you brought this to our attention, we were supportive, and always we are helping you as you work to make, improvements to policies, procedures, and just to make public safety in our town a number one priority. This is something where working with the school district is something that we set out to do. And I'm just really thankful for you on taking the lead on this. And thank you, Elena. I didn't know you
Yeah,
were
thank you to
helping.
Elena as well.
Yeah.
I know I said it before, but it doesn't happen without Elena. We all know it, so. Okay. Number 24 is a resolution to approve a grant application for the 2024 Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership. The Bulletproof Vest Partnership, I believe it was in 1998 it began, and it's a matching up to 50% grant for body-worn armor for our police officers. We have not applied for this since 2010, and my understanding historically of why that is because they I don't know if it was always this way or it changed, but there's a mandatory vest wear policy that has to be adopted as a part of this. Well, great news. We have an updated policy manual that has that policy in there now. So we have the ability to apply for this. I wouldn't say it's an outrageous amount of savings necessarily. The cost of body worn vests for our police officers right now, if I were to give an estimate, somewhere between $900 to $1,000. And on average, depending, because we cycle, we have people staggered, it's probably 3 to 5 vests we're doing a year. And obviously we take the safety of our police officers as paramount to anything we do. But even if it is a $1,500 to $3,000 average a year savings that we would get through this, we can use that money for other things. So we want to try to be fiscally responsible, and I'm going to apply for it myself, and we're going to see what happens. So
Thank you.
thank you, everybody.
Okay, moving on to Finance and General Government Committee.
Okay, item 25 is a resolution to proclaim April National Donate Life Month. 26 was a resolution for the budgetary modifications. 27 is a resolution to approve an MOU with Schenectady County regarding the antivirus software that Seth spoke about. 28 is a resolution to appoint an intern to the town's IT department. 29 is a resolution to authorize the renewal of the town's accounting software licenses. And 30 was the resolution to accept the financial report from the audit of the elected officials' accounts, and that was the 2021 year. 2022 will be following. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so at this time, I'll motion to go into executive session pursuant to Public Officers Law, Section 105F, to discuss matters leading to the appointment, employment, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or persons. At the close of executive session, we will not take up any additional town business. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay.